I'm going to get ready and go through a little bit about how to work with these type of steering wheels. These are a common steering wheel on cars in the 1970s. Sometimes called a sport steering wheel or a four-spoke wheel. Came with different cars, GM cars. This is a GM car. I'm not telling you what it is. We'll see if you can guess what kind of car it is. It's my pride and joy. But I'm going to go through the process of removing the steering wheel, and also I need to replace the turn signal mechanism in there, and I see that this thing's all whacked out too. So I think I got all the tools with me, but don't, probably doesn't, wouldn't doubt me that I got to get up and get something. I try to think the process through ahead of time, what I'm going to need, but I forget stuff. So let's go ahead and get this thing off. So we got these 3 screws right here. I'm going to take these guys off. So I got a Phillips screwdriver. Taking these 1, 2, 3, and then we take off. Now my horn unfortunately is broken, but I'm going to also tell you how sometimes people have the problem where you go and the horn beeps when you don't want it to beep, or you can't get it to beep, and I'll talk through the process of that and how to do that. Alright, now next thing we got to do is take off this big nut here, and that looks about right size. Man, wrong. Alright, there we go. Got my 1/2 inch here. Let's go ahead and throw this guy off. And he comes off pretty easy. And I just realized one of the things I forgot was my steering wheel puller, so I'll go grab that real quick. I have seen, and I don't like it, but you can get somebody to pull on this real hard, and somebody smack this with a hammer, but again, you risk destroying these teeth, and I think honestly the shock of smacking this thing is going to probably screw up bearings and stuff in there. I prefer not to do that. So let me go grab my steering wheel puller. I'll be right back. One of the things you should never skimp on is your tools. Now sometimes you can go to China Freight and get stuff that'll work, but don't expect that to be like one of those things you can count on every time you need it. So it'd be like those onesie twosie things. So in this case we got a couple holes here. Let me pull that tape back. Just make sure I got the right bolt that fits in there. Alright, there we go. So that's the right size. Before I start going to town, put a bolt here. Another bolt here. This is one of those tools I use quite a bit, actually. It probably doesn't show a lot. Somewhat there. Back up. Grab the right bit for this guy. Looks good right there. So. Got a little point thing, a little hole you put it in. What I'm going to do, I'm going to screw these guys in a little bit more. Make sure they're level. You don't want to be cockeyed in any way. You want to make sure they're screwed in enough it gets a good grip on the things. So that looks pretty good right there. I think it's good and level. There we go. So nice good contact. Then we go ahead and grab our 1/2 inch again. This time I'm going to have to grab a different socket. That looks to be this one. Got it right that time. Oops, wrong way. And that popped it loose, didn't take much. Alright, there we go. I'm just going to set that down out here for the moment. I'll take that off in a minute. Alright, taking a look at this guy. Let's see what we got here. This little critter right here. I knew I was preparing for this guy, and that's what this tool is for. And it's a pretty simple little tool. What you do is you screw this on like so, and you got to push this down. There's this little ring clip around there. So let's go ahead and screw him down on that guy. And then we go ahead and start cranking her down. But let me turn this in a position where I can get, that's good enough right there. Just want to make sure that I can get it pretty easy. So turn it till you get some tension off of that little clip. I think we're good. And these little babies right here, a little thing where you can get that clip out of there, because it's going to stink if you don't have something that'll pull that out relatively easy. So And even with that, I mean, it's still kind of a challenge. So let's get it to a point where I got to keep it from spinning. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to get it under that ring and pull that ring over like so. And it still is hard to do. Some of you are probably like, oh man, why don't you do this, do that? I know how to do this, I can get the thing right off. Well, I don't mess with it much. And I've gotten lucky where I pull them right off, and sometimes I don't. But you know what, oh well. Probably should grab, I got several of these, so I probably should have grabbed a couple of them. And that way I can put one hook on one side. As soon as I get that one off, the other one goes back on. There we go. Let's get it now. There we are. Alright, now undo the tension. And then this thing slides right back. And, you know, oftentimes you don't have to buy these tools. I know people, they say, hey, you can go down to some of your local auto parts stores and they'll lend them to you. I don't know how they make money, if they'll just lend them to you, if you have to buy something to get them or what, I don't know. I just prefer to have my own tools, and I don't have to worry about returning them and stuff like that. I guess something like this is relatively cheap. I think I got it off eBay, and you know, holds up but as many times as I've been using it, which is quite a bit. So don't lose that little clip, don't lose that little ring. This is the for the horn. What it does, it makes contact with here so you can spin it and your horn still makes contact, so that's what that guy's for. Alright, so see, that's been loose for a while. And we're going to pull him out, so I'm just going to unscrew this little screw right here and put it on my floorboard. Still, it probably wouldn't have come out for a while. The only reason I wanted to take it apart is it's been like that and I just haven't used it. It looks like I've been getting some rubbing on this thing right here. I don't know. I know this thing here at one time was bent, and it looks like it's still just a little bit bent possibly. I did what I could to get it straightened out. I mean, when I got the car, I actually didn't have this piece in it. I got this off of another steering column that was broken, and it's hard to find because this one here is a tilt steering column. There we go. This is a tilt steering column, and it's kind of hard to find these for this particular car. I don't know if it interchanges with others. I wanted to be sure. Alright, so I got that part. Now I got to get this guy out, and I know this is kind of going to be a pain in the butt. This hair's been flaky lately, and I mean, I'll turn the turn signal on, and it'll not, you know, when I turn, it'll not click off and stuff like that, and it does look pretty beat down. But you know what, before I move too far, I hate, have you ever bought a part, and you take everything apart, and then you go to put it in, and you find out, hey, this is not the same one. So let's just do a comparison here real quick, and you know what, that looks right on target. I mean, I'm looking at it, the holes are lining up right where those lined up at. I see everything looks straight, so it is right on money. Yeah, I mean, sometimes you're going to find little differences and stuff like that. I noticed just a tiny amount of difference in a couple things, but honestly, that almost looks like the same dang part. Amazing. Alright, so I'm going to go with it. I'm going to trust that it's good. I hope so anyway, and let's go ahead and take this guy out. So what I got to do now is I got to take these screws out of here. So I got my Phillips, so I just click that down so I could get to this Phillips screw. And honestly, the goal of this was to show you how to get the steering wheel off and on and stuff, but you know what, maybe I need to maybe we do this too. Hopefully it don't take too long. I got to watch my camera next time I get out. I was recording something one time and thought I was recording and actually stopped recording on me. I probably should have brought my magnets. These are not magnetized screwdrivers. Okay, looks like we got a little. Gotta take this guy out. My emergency flasher. That's not hard. So I got that part out. Got that. And emergency flashers are going off like crazy right now too. So I suppose I should unhook the battery cable, but you know, a little electricity don't hurt you. Oh, I gotta look at it. He's gonna watch me. Watch me get zapped. Right now, so I gotta watch this thing. This thing that goes down there. I'm gonna have to get under the dash and pull that out. Hopefully not kick the camera over at the same time. I'm gonna double check on wires and stuff here. I see on this case I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 wires. So let's count those wires just to be sure before I make this baby out. Hard to see. Yep, close enough. I'm moving on. Alrighty. Alright, I don't know if my zoom is the same because I turned it off for a bit. Within 2 minutes of turning off the camera, I figured out it's clipped up on there in a steering wheel, and I just had to unclip it first, and then it came right out. So now what I got to do is take off 4 bolts that hold this bracket under. Just got to be careful not to break the dash. I think that's it. Alright, what a... Oh, that was going to take it off. Now what do we got now? That kind of worked, but now what I got to do is drop the steering wheel a little bit to give me some room to push it up and then run those wires back through it. And I'm just going to drop them down as far as they go without actually taking the dash or the steering wheel out. You know, it ain't hard to put back in, so we'll just do this real quick and see if I can get those wires out without that. Be a lot easier if I had an extension. Just too lazy to go get it right now, but we'd make this happen. Alright, I can undo this with my fingers. Alright, so that kind of wiggled in there. Now here's the kind of an also little trick thing. If I get this out, I got to get these back down here somehow. So should I put like a piece of fishing line or something on that before I take it out? And that way I've got something that goes through, because it could be rather a pain. And honestly, I don't know. But I think I should, just in case, because what you do is you fish it out, tie a piece of that tape fishing line back on or something, and then wiggle it right back down into place. So let me go grab some fishing line or a piece of string or something, and we'll make that happen. Something better. I got this piece of wire here. I keep scraps like this around. I've used fishing line like for this kind of stuff. Have it hang up, pop off, and of course it don't make your day. So I'm going to use this guy to tie onto this and pull this out. Tie it on there good. Wire should be nice and strong.